Hello and a big welcome. Thank you very much for coming to our info session this evening. Or if you're watching recording, thank you very much for watching this. We've got an action-packed session today. We're going to talk about London School of Business and Finance and our online programs. We've got a fantastic guest today from Student Support. We have Brittany. How are you doing, Brittany?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Just before the webinar, can you just tell us a bit about yourself and what you do for London School of Business and Finance?
Yeah, I am a senior student support and program administrator for London School of Business and Finance. I work predominantly on the MBA programs for LSBF.
Okay, so London School of Business and Finance is a long thing to say. So throughout this webinar, we're going to be calling it LSBF, and that'll probably take a good 5 to 10 minutes off of the length of the info session because it'll be much quicker. We're going to have a look at our programs as well. We're going to have a chat about what it's like to study online. So to learn a bit more about that, let's have a little look at our agenda today. So for those of you that don't know us, we're going to have an introduction to the university. We're going to look at some of those benefits of studying online, a bit different from campus-based learning. We're looking at our MBA program and some other programs that we have. We're going to go and look at the London School of Business and Finance website. Classroom demonstration, where we're going to have a look at what it's like to actually study in the class. A good reason to watch this webinar today is to see what it's actually like, the way modules are laid out, and the way you actually study inside your degree. Application success tips. If you haven't put your proper application forward so far, me and Brittany can talk to you about some expectations and the process there to hand your application in, put your best foot forward. And support. How do we support our students, whether it's your enrollment advisors who are speaking to you about the program to choose, whether it's support. We support all of our students with how we do that. And there is an opportunity to ask a few questions at the end. If you have any questions, please think about them now, and we'll get to them in about 20 minutes time. This will be a short info session, probably last around half an hour. So you'll get what you put into it. So please have your questions ready. Ask anything you like, whether that's about our programs, about studying online, about the university. And even if you can't answer it, we'll direct you to someone who can. Does that sound all right, Brittany?
Yep, sounds great.
That's great. Now, London School of Business and Finance might not be known to everyone. So let's give people a little bit of an introduction. What would you say some of the main points about the London School of Business and Finance, an introduction to studying with us for those that might not know a lot about us?
London School of Business and Finance is located, it's a business school located in London. It's underneath the Global University Systems, and Global University Systems broadcasts a bunch of different programs to about 55,000 students around the world.
Nice. So you can see here that you can network with those students, you can develop your career, you can do all of the kind of stuff that you could do on a campus university. The difference is, I suppose, is that the people that you're studying with will be from a broader range of countries all across the world, and we'll talk about that in a second. Now, working online, studying online is normally for people who are also working at the same time. So we've designed our program so you can fit studying around your normal work commitments, and that's kind of what we're going to be discussing throughout this session, is how our different types of students fit in their programs to fit their way of life. Now, how do we deliver our programs? Well, it's a variety of means. We have recorded video lectures, so go into the system, and Brittany will show you this later, and you'll see some of your topics for your modules laid out, and lectures will be addressing key topics and points. You've got an online library, resources there to various different places where you can find your articles, various library sources and online libraries there. You have your tutor support and your student support who are there for you as well at the click of a button. And then you have these kind of flashcards covering themes, and you have tests and assignments, kind of usual stuff that you'd expect on any degree course, but just built into the actual modules itself that we have online. Now, in terms of where our students come from, in your experience, you work in student support, Brittany, so you speak to a lot of students. Where do they come from normally? What are their motivations and backgrounds?
A lot of our students are from various different parts of the world. We get a lot of students from like Asia and Africa. They're all students that are trying to further their education. They're working and they're just trying to get to that next level.
Exactly. We can see here, this is a snapshot of just our MBA program, which is 46% of our students are women. So, it's almost roughly 50-50. The majority of people are speaking more than 2 languages. So, if English isn't your first language, that's not necessarily an issue as long as it's of a certain standard to study at a UK university. And 91% of our students, 9 out of 10 of them, are actually working and studying at the same time. So, and you can see, obviously most people are fitting into kind of the 30 to 50 bracket, I suppose 25 to all the way up to 65. So quite a large spread of, ages and countries as well. We have a nice poor group of people who are actually studying in the United Kingdom, but still don't want to travel to London to the campus, but still study online, which I think is fantastic, and a big body from Europe as well. And as you see here, we have Africa, Asia well represented, some students in America, North and South America as well. Now, many of you will be thinking about studying online for a variety of reasons, and I thought it'd be nice for us to go through some of those reasons now. Now, Brittany, I'm sure that you know that if you're looking for a degree or anything online, most universities talk about how flexible online studying is. What do we really mean at London School of Business and Finance when we say, our degrees are flexible or your learning is flexible?
Well, our flexibility means that you can study online or on your phone at any time of day. Our assignments have a fixed deadline, and there's terms that you can start throughout the year. We have terms starting 3 times every 3 months. And inside that, they have a fixed deadline, but the hours that you spend online, you don't have to log in at a certain time in order to be present for the class. And then we also offer flexible payment options as well for when you want to sign up, so you can actually pay module by module if that's the flexibility that you're looking for studying online.
Okay, so yeah, so that's it. I mean, flexibility is about the journey as opposed to the destination, I suppose then, because you don't have fixed assignments and fixed assignment dates, etc. But it's how you get there might vary depending on your schedule and your work as well. But would that be fair enough?
Yes, correct.
Now, as you said, you can do the degrees in, say 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. There's different type of lengths of time that you can take your degree. One is skewing more towards full-time study, and one is more part-time. And we're going to go through that as well. We're going to have a little look at the website, the courses, and take a look at those course times for a few of our top courses that we have on there at the moment. You must have students who are traveling all the time, Brittany, and need to kind of study while they're on the go. What kind of advice do you give someone who kind of wants to take their resources with them?
So we have a mobile app that students can download that they can access the online portal from. And then there's also the ability to download the flashcards. So within each module you have videos. The videos aren't downloadable, but the flashcards to those videos are. So you can take that and have that downloaded onto any device that you want, so you can be studying while you're traveling. We do have a lot of students that travel constantly for work, and they use those when they're in airports and going to and from work and so forth.
Very, very nice. And distance learning doesn't necessarily have to be an isolating experience either. Our students are collaborating within the courses, discussing and sharing their activities with their classmates, showing each other their work. And on an online degree, I did my MBA online. I found it was super stimulating to have people who were kind of studying at the point of relevance, same age as me, different places around the world, and I could actually learn quite a lot of other students, whereby a lot of master's courses maybe on campus will have a majority of people who come through their undergraduate degree, maybe a bit less experienced. Do you find that the people that you're speaking to, majority of them have quite a bit of work experience or kind of career professionals?
Yeah, a lot of our students are career professionals, and they come from so many different backgrounds. So everyone brings their own unique experience to studying online, and that's one of the best things that I find about this program.
Now, when you're looking for a university, there's a few things that you need to consider. Whether you can fit it in. What's the affordability of the course, and you're looking at the university. And one thing you're looking at is it credible? Are the people who are teaching on the course also practitioners? So if you're studying business, do the people who are teaching you business have some idea of what it's like to work in business, for example? And what is the degree like? Is it an online degree? Does it look any different from a degree that you get if you went to campus? Is it any less credible? At the London School of Business and Finance, our degrees are the same on campus as they are online in appearance and in their learning outcomes. We have the same learning outcomes for both types of courses, and all of our lecturers, teach on both these courses and have experience practically working with business and other elements. If you're into finance and accountancy, our teachers would have worked in accountancy, audit, and finance. And I think that adds a layer of credibility that's necessary if you're going to study kind of at this level, especially if you're going to take a postgraduate degree, study at master's levels. They're practical, these degrees. They're designed to actually help you accelerate in your career, to give you the kind of skills that you need to help you right now. If you're looking for that promotion or to move, from junior to senior management or something like that, then these degrees are actually tailored towards you. We know we have the value for money, and the tuition fee structure is there, and we actually support you all the way through from when you enroll. You'll be speaking to someone about what to choose, what is the right program for you and your situation. Then you'll move on and you'll be speaking to someone in student support, and the tutors will also help you along the way as well. So it's very practical, straightforward. It's very easy to understand what it is that you have to do. Then the commitment in terms of time, energy, and how you'd like to break it down and do it is actually on you as a student. I think that's very nice indeed. Brittany, you said the MBA is quite a popular program, that you see quite a lot of people are taking that program.
Yeah, it's one of our most populars.
One of the most popular ones. So let's have a look and see if we can maybe have a little look at that one as we bring it in. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Lovely. Okay. So this is the London School of Business and Finance website. It has all of the degrees and all of the courses there. You can check out faculty members, course fees, and everything there. Now, the tab that you want to look at is the Study Online tab. We have some short courses here, but our main courses, apart from our short courses and our accountancy courses, which you can see here, are our three big postgraduate courses: the Global MBA, the MA in Finance and Investment, and if you're interested in that one, we'll be running a webinar next week on that, and the dual MSc in Strategic Marketing. So we talked about the MBA. Let's have a look here. To join a global community of ambitious professionals, you get an understanding of key concepts in global management, strategy, finance, and marketing. Now, if you're interested in learning more about this, as well as speaking to a member of our staff, our support staff, you can actually spend some time on this page. Do you find, Brittany, that students are quite familiar with doing the research and looking at the page and kind of figuring it out what they want, or what are the kind of things they need help with as they're coming into the program initially, what they might not have read up on, or what might not be available to them?
I think the students are very knowledgeable once they get into the program. I think where they need guidance the most is after they finish their core modules, they move on to their elective modules, because we offer a lot of elective modules and different specializations. That's where we, in support, really guide the students into helping them figure out if they want to specialize in something specific, or if they want to do a general, that's where we really advise students on.
Okay, that's well, good timing, because you can see that here, even with the MBA, you have these stage 2, like Brittany was saying, elective modules. Those are deeper choices that you have to make. You're doing a general, MBA, and then you might want to say specialize in marketing or finance or management, and that's going to be very particular to your career path. And so that's a choice that you'll have to make and that we support you with. Now you can see at the bottom here the entry requirements: IELTS 5.5, UK undergraduate degree, or no work experience required, but is considered an asset. Now, we have loads of different pathways, Brittany, that people come through. Do you find that some people come with more of an academic background, and some people might come with like more of a work background for some of these courses?
I think we get a variety of different students that have work experience and also then the more academic experience. It's a good mixture, but I do think that a lot of students have a good amount of both combined. So the academic background and then also work experience as well.
There you go. So don't be shy in terms of thinking that you might not be qualified or you're not sure. The best thing to do is to speak to us, and you have here speak to an advisor. Study online, there's the phone number there, or you can request info for the application form. Have that conversation with someone about your background, and how to put your best foot forward. We have students that have, more work experience, and they come through the courses on that. And then we have the more standard application where people come through with the undergraduate degree or the native English or the IELTS test, and they come through on a more standard pathway. So the best thing to do is, if you're interested in these, speak to us. We could kind of discuss your entry criteria there as well. And as I discussed earlier, we have the MA Finance and Investment. That's our master's degree there. It employs evidence of technical skills and high-level finance and investment decision-making. And what else do we have? We have a dual MSc and MA in Strategic Marketing, which is very popular indeed. Now, if you're interested in any of these specifically, we have separate webinars on the MBA that goes on a deep dive into the modules of the programs. We have a separate webinar with our lecturer, Cormac Austin, on the strategic marketing program, which we dive deeper into the modules as well. And we also will have next week, as I was discussing, a webinar looking at MA in Finance and Investment. If you're interested in any of those particular courses, I do advise you come on a deeper dive with me and look at those modules and courses, on a bit of a more thorough level. And you can see here the student testimonials. You can listen to what students are saying about the course. You can again download a brochure, look at the course content, figure out what you'll study, etc., etc. So there's a lot that you can learn on the website, and then you can have a conversation with us, and we can kind of top up that knowledge as well. So let's see if I can get rid of this. Bring back my presentation. Just bear with me. Okay. This is the first time I've ever had this amount of windows open, Brittany, so I'm just there we go. Okay, can you see the presentation again?
Yes.
Beautiful, thank you very, very much. Right, so that was a little tour of our website. Obviously, you guys can go on there and explore. I hope that you have had a little look at the website, so the programs and learning outcomes, how long you want your degree to take, whether the outcomes of the modules are suitable to what you want to do in your career. But the next thing that you'll have to do is see what it's like to actually study online. So I'm actually going to give you the presentation reins, Brittany, and you're going to give us a little look at one of our classes. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay, I'm just giving you the presenter now. You'll see something come up on your screen.
All right. Can you guys all see my screen?
Perfect, yeah. What are we looking at here?
All right, so basically here, this is what your online dashboard looks like. So once you've been enrolled and you log on to the Canvas platform for the first time, this is what it will look like. Right now we have one of our main core modules for our marketing, or for our MBA program. So we have our dashboard here. This is your account. You can find your courses here. There's a calendar, and then here is the inbox where you can message with fellow students, the support staff, as well as the tutors directly. When we mentioned that we have online support, that you guys can contact us at any time, this would be it right here. This red little button at the bottom right-hand corner is called our intercom. So you just click on it and you can message the support at any time and we'll get back to you. And then when we go inside our module, so the first core module of the MBA is Marketing and Business Environment. When you log into it, you have your home page. It's a welcome message, then we have our welcome video, and then we have what's inside the module. Everything is broken down here. Then you can access your modules here, and this is where all of the content is. So you have the introduction, your online library and resources, and then a place where you can introduce yourself to your fellow students that are in this module for you. It's then broken down into units. And each unit has an introduction, a video clip, then the flashcards that correlate with those, and then discussion questions. We also have a summary. So basically you go through all of this and it's broken down, and this is how you navigate your module. At the end of it, you have a final assignment. You also have a revision area, but at the end of it, you have a final assignment, and this is where that would be down here. And that assignment brief consists of a few different things pertaining to your learning outcomes, which are broken down in each unit.
Can we have a look at an introduction?
Yeah, of course. All right. So here you can see the introduction. Can everyone see that all right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So then it's broken down. It's given a little bit of an introduction into what you'll be learning in this unit specifically. And then you've got your graphs and your materials that are also downloadable with the flashcards. At the very end, you get a breakdown of what your learning outcomes for this unit would be, as well as your reading list as well. All of these books you can purchase them online if you would like, or we do offer the ability to download certain sections. We provide links or PDFs with certain sections for them.
So you can, so yeah, we had a question come in, you know, do you have to pay for ebooks? But no, you can buy books that'll help you on your knowledge of the course. I mean, for example, here we have Kotler and Keller Marketing Management. Kotler and Keller is a staple for marketing. On my MBA, I had to read Kotler and Keller. We will give we give you access to what you need in terms of the specific things that cover our modules. But you could obviously go and buy the Kotler and Keller book, which is like this big. We wanted to go on a deeper dive around that, but it's not necessary for, not mandatory or necessary for actually completing that
exactly, yeah. It's only a suggested reading. We do offer that, but if there's anything in the learning outcomes that you need to do reading for, we will provide you with a PDF or a link to where you can read from. The suggested reading, the books, they're just suggestions, so you don't have to buy them, but some of our students do buy those just because it does offer more of an explanation and they want more of that information.
Perfect. Yeah, you can see the hyperlinks and everything here. So yeah, it's quite straightforward and very much like it would be, in fact, the same as it would be if you were studying on a campus. You'd have the same assignments and learning modules. You might have an in-campus lecture, perhaps, or maybe a study group, but we kind of integrate that online. What else can you find out in there in the interactive platform?
What'd you say, Joe?
What else is in here? You've got your video clips. I'm a student, so I'm not studying at the moment, so I'm looking at all this stuff.
So basically what you can do is you also have your video clips, and this goes into a deeper explanation of everything that you're learning in that specific unit. So they're all broken down into small little video clips, which are easier to digest for the students. And then you can also hit this next button down at the bottom, which then goes into the flashcards. All of these flashcards are, again, downloadable, and they're broken down into little bits that pertain to the actual video that they correlate with. So these are what our flashcards look like. So these, a lot of the time, our students will watch the videos and then download the flashcards so that they can read them when they're traveling, like on the tube to work, or if they're traveling long distance for their jobs.
So even there you can see, you're talking about flexibility. We're going to have an assignment to do, we know that, but we've got all this kind of subject matter to tackle and to deal with. So, we've got articles to read, we know how long it takes us to read an article, we've got some videos, we know how long it takes, we've got stuff we can download, some other stuff that you might have to be online for. So we can kind of look at your schedule, what you need to do, and pick what you need to watch. And what I love about this delivery is, our program is delivered by Interactive Study Pro, which means that it's absolutely modern. It's very, very modern delivery. It's not like a correspondence course where everything is just done in writing. There's videos, there's downloadable materials, there's presentations, and we have a professional studio in London. We record our faculty members and our presenters talking about these topics, so the stuff is fresh. It's not like this old footage from back in the day of someone discussing a principle in front of a blackboard. It's very, very modern, and the kind of stuff that you're very familiar with if you have an intranet at your company, or have internal marketing and presentations and things that you're used to in the work environment. We kind of deliver that kind of same kind of experience that you would have from a big company. How do we summarize then? What are these summaries at the end? Is this what you've
The
learned?
summaries at the bottom are just quick little bullet points that we can revert back to the video clips or the reading that you have. And they're just kind of little bullet points that you can take away that are the best takeaways from each unit. And then you also have your discussion questions, which you get feedback from. So we have two different types of discussion questions. One that are more in depth, that you have to spend a little bit of time just like composing an answer. Then we also have these ones, the tutor will respond to you and tell you, and you'll engage in a conversation with your tutor as well as your fellow students. We also have instant feedback tasks, which you put in your answer and then you immediately get your answers back to you. So these are what our discussion questions look like. And then you would put your answer in here, and then you'd be able to engage with your fellow students and your tutor during that.
Lovely. So this is a thing that we like to call, it's collaborative or collective learning. And so, so let's say me and Brittany were in a class and our topic was looking at data privacy in marketing, for example, GDPR regulated data privacy in marketing. We'd be giving a discussion question. It would be an article about the bringing in of GDPR and regulations this year. Me and Brittany would read that. We'd then go on and do some extra reading. Some suggested we might read different things. We'd bring in our different experience from having different positions and different jobs. I would write a 750 word little mini paper on that, or it's always a thread. It's like a thread, a forum in a thread. And I'd write something. This is how GDPR regulations are, and then you'd reply. Is that right? Or
so basically each student is asked to respond to their discussion question, and then once it's posted, you can go through and you can say like I could respond to you, Joe, and be like, I never thought of that point of view. It brings up this, and then you can engage in discussions on what you took away from each unit. And it's really interesting because I find that most students, each student brings their own personal experiences into the discussion questions, and they're able to help students understand from different point of views, which I think is really wonderful.
Exactly. It's the kind of thing is, on campus, you might be used to it if you've had an undergraduate degree or been a long time or whatever, but we had these little study groups where maybe the lecturer will sit around and discuss topics of the week. And this is kind of a recreation of that. Except what I like about it is maybe what you lose on the FaceTime is you gain in who's actually discussing it with.
Yeah.
The room that you're sitting in has someone from Singapore, someone from Africa, someone from Europe, someone from the UK, someone from the Netherlands. So and so to have that opportunity to discuss something with people and realize that across cultures things have completely different meaning and completely different delivery of how concepts are actually delivered in business across different countries. You'll learn a lot that way, and that's why our degrees are kind of very global kind of. What else can you do on your portal here? I see you've got a calendar, you've got inbox and a dashboard. Can you contact your tutors and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the calendar here, so once you're enrolled into your module, you have all of your deadlines are set up into here. So our discussion questions, we have deadlines. They're not specific deadlines that you have to meet with those. You can turn them in, they're suggested deadlines really, but those would be marked in your calendar here. We also have your final assignment, when that is due, that would be marked in your calendar. You can also customize this calendar to yourself. So if you want to add in something that, like, for your work, you want to integrate your working schedule to this calendar, so you can see I have this final assignment due here, but I also have this big work meeting here. So then you can sort of plan things the way that you want to do it. So this calendar is customizable to you, but it also uploads your information that you have for the module that you're currently enrolled in. If you're enrolled in more than one module, it has all of that information in there. If you want to message your fellow students or your tutor or your support team, you can do that here directly on the through Canvas. You'd go into the inbox, you can create a message, select the course that you're enrolled in, and then it will give you the list of students that are in that class, and you can message all of them and say, hey, like, what did you think about this assignment? This is my thoughts. What were your thoughts? Or if you have a question specifically for your tutor, you can go ahead and message them directly. You also have the option to message the support staff as well through Canvas directly.
Well, I mean, this is what I'm seeing is something that kind of is very comfortable and user-friendly, and kind of mirrors the systems that we're used to and we use at work, etc., etc. You know, as someone from student support, what are the kind of common queries or questions you get for people who are just coming into the system, haven't studied online before? Kind of a shock to the system. How do we onboard people to understand how to go through them?
A lot of times we get students that aren't familiar with this system, and so we'll get questions on how that works, and we'll just, the support staff will just walk them through, whether that's through a message, or we often talk to students directly on the phone if that's something they would prefer. We get questions often about if they want to take a study break, if a student has just started their program or is in the middle of their program and something big happens at work and they need to take time off from studying to focus on their job, they'll message us about that and ask us how we do that and how we would go and process that sort of break for the students. We often get questions when students have completed their core modules, what they want to study in, and we can advise students on like the specializations that we offer, or if they want to do a general studies and general degree, we can offer, the support team can offer you assistance with that. If they have any questions regarding referencing or the academic content of something, then they will contact us often, but we can also get in touch with the tutors for you to make sure that you guys are receiving each other's messages, or the questions are being answered.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for showing us the course. So we don't want to show people too much because quite a lot to get, quite a lot of for them to get their head around, and we can do the little demos and show them later as well. So I'll just take the presentation back, and you just tell me when you can see my screen.
Yep, I can see your screen.
Perfect. So thank you very much. That was the online learning platform. What do we call the online learning platform? Does it have a funky name?
The online learning platform is called Canvas.
Canvas. Very nice. You can paint your educational dreams upon it. All right, application process. So for those of you that haven't applied, shame on you. And hopefully by listening to this webinar and understanding what it is that we offer, you're probably more interested in applying and at the sharp end of that application process. There's time to think about what happens at the end of your degree so you can figure out how to start it. So what are you going to get out of it with this piece of paper? Once you graduate, what is this qualification going to give you? And that's kind of where you start with your motivation, because you're motivated by what the degree can bring you. Now, it's a very simple application step. You go to the website, you enter in your contact details. The holy trifecta of any application nowadays is your education, your work experience, your motivation, be that a job interview or a university application. Submit that online, of course, using our portal. We have our wonderful educational consultants. Brittany, can you tell us a bit about the consultants that our prospective students will meet at the beginning of their journey with us?
Yeah, again, all like the rest of our company, our educational consultants come from all over the world, and they're experienced in various different things, and they can offer all of the information that if you have any questions whatsoever, they'll be able to advise you on what the best option for you is. So if you have a little, if you're undecided on which area of expertise you would like to go into, they're more than happy to help you with figuring that out as well.
Now, you're a member of our wonderful student support, and we say we've got you from enrollment all the way through to graduation, from motivation through to graduation. What is the kind of difference between the support that you offer and the support that tutors offer? What are the kind of the common things that you're helping people with throughout the degree? I know that we've mentioned a few of them in today's session already.
Yeah, mainly it's what I previously mentioned. So if students have questions about which modules they should enroll in, they can contact student support. So if you come into the program with any exemptions and you need to enroll in your next module, but you aren't 100% sure if that's the next module you should be enrolled in, you can go ahead and ask us and we'll guide you through the whole enrollment process. We help with, we remind you guys on any important dates or how to get in touch with your tutors. If you need to take a study break, you can contact us and we'll be able to advise you on that. Then once you've completed your program, we'll go through and do the whole process of getting your certificate sent to you, as well as then the graduation ceremony that we hold once every year.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to that at the end of summer this year for all of our hardworking graduates who are coming through.
Yes.
And should be finishing off, I suppose they're finishing off their dissertations and final projects as we speak.
Yes, deadline is coming up next week, actually.
You'd know better than I do, Brittany, about that. Looking back at this does remind me of my time studying, but the resources and the delivery are far more modern, what you're offering here, than I ever had when I was studying. So a real opportunity here. We've had a couple of questions that we've already covered throughout the session. We have a time if you have another question now, you can submit your question. We finish the session in about 5 minutes. Brittany, a few questions. Can we download resources as PDFs?
Yes.
Depends on the resource, right?
The videos are not downloadable, but all of the content from the videos are in our flashcards. Those are downloadable.
So you can get like the transcript of a video, what the guy said in the video, or the woman said in the video. Well, that's very cool.
Yes. All of that is downloadable.
Yeah. Do we have teamwork assignments?
We don't have teamwork assignments, we don't have any teamwork assignments, but the students often will create a group for a module to discuss things amongst themselves, or create WhatsApp groups as well, so they can interact and discuss the assignments that they're working on.
And we'd advise that as well. We'd advise all of our students to kind of start those little groups and start networking. They really benefited me. When I was doing my degree online, I didn't start with those groups until about 2 years into my course, and I'm kicking myself every day for not doing them from the beginning. In terms of teamwork in the modules, you're right. As Brittany said, there's no assignment whereby it's tied to someone else. And in a way, studying online, you don't necessarily want to be tied to someone else in terms of your grade or that outcome. But what we do have is these kind of shared activities where we will submit our papers, like we said before, and we will discuss each other's work. So even though we're not doing the work together for that initial paper, we are discussing each other's work and learning off each other. So we still get the benefit of the collaborative learning.
Exactly.
Having to tie ourselves into working with each other across different time zones and whatever. I remember I had a teamwork assignment for one of my modules for my MBA program at a different university, and I had to work with someone in Canada, and I live in Europe, and it was a complete nightmare. So I think it was much better to kind of do it this way. Hello, besides the final assignments, do we have midterms or anything like that? No, you don't have midterms. It doesn't work like that. It's at postgraduate level, guys. If you're studying at postgraduate level, which the majority of our courses at LSBF are at, you're moving from kind of a learn it, write it down, regurgitate it, and prove that you know it kind of degree as an undergraduate degree to a research-led degree. And with a research-led degree, it's not really about assignments or exams unless you're doing a kind of accountancy courses or law courses. It's really about showing that you've gone and done the study and the research, and then putting together well-nuanced pieces of coursework or assignments. So we won't have exams. There's a couple of questions here about exams, and we don't have midterms or anything like that. It's all coursework and assignment based. Is that fair enough to say, Brittany?
Yep, you essentially just have your discussion questions that you go through at the end of each one of your units. Those are not graded, and you are basically graded on your final assignment at the end of each module. The discussion questions are the ones that you can discuss with your fellow classmates as well, but your final assignment is your assignment. You're graded by yourself, and it's the only assignment that you have.
Perfect. Right, so we have a few other questions. We'll cycle them through quickly. It's about to wrap up. Is the graduation ceremony held in the UK? Yes, it is. It is this year.
Yes. Sorry, Joe. The graduation ceremony this year is held in the UK. Yes. There is talks about doing them in other areas around the world, since we are an international and global online program. There have been talks of that, but we will decide every year.
Okay, perfect. Does the certificate differ from what you'd get on campus? The answer is no, you get the same certificate on campus. Where can I get more information regarding the accreditation of the degree, for example, if you need to use it for immigration purposes? I'd say if you've got particular questions about your transcripts or about your pathway or how to get onto the course or about accrediting the degree in your country, then you have to speak to your education consultant, and they will be able to help you on that one as well. I'm an insurance professional. I'd like to study the MBA related to insurance or risk management. What offers in that department do you have? Well, again, like Brittany said, our MBA and many of our courses come with elective modules. So discuss that with your education consultant and see whether the MBA is offering you the kind of management modules and skills that you need that will help you. Insurance and risk management is very, very particular. I'm not sure if you're going to find an MBA that has this very specific module to it, but I'm sure that you can pick up the key skills to do that through modules that cover management and risk in separate ways. In terms of financial aid for this program, do you have any financial aid? There are no scholarships for the program. However, many of our students do study under employee contributions. So a large number of companies are offering trainee schemes and stipends per year or per month for their employees to train on, and our courses usually qualify with employers to get that kind of training. So if you're looking to study with us or study for a postgraduate degree, and that's going to help your organization directly, which you should do, and speak to your employer about what the kind of contribution you can get there. In terms of the degree prices, they're extremely competitive, and you can talk to your educational consultants about that as
also,
well.
We do offer different payment plans. You can pay for the entire program up front if that's your option. If you want to set up a payment plan specifically to your needs, you can talk to your educational consultant about that. Or if you want to pay module by module, you can also do that as well.
Perfect. Are there any HR modules? And that's a bit of a deep dive for us for today. So you'd have to go and have a look at the program. If you want to know about the modules, guys, if you're about to do a research-led degree, I have a tip for all of you guys on the, who are watching this. Go and do some research. If you want to know if there are any HR modules, go and look at the website. Go and download the program. Go and look at the learning outcomes, and you should know the answer to that. If you're ready and prepared to do these programs, you should also be ready and prepared to do that research up front as well, guys, and kind of get ready, put your head into study mode. It's a challenge to do an online degree. It's not a piece of paper that you just be able to pick up. And we want to stress that it's extremely rewarding, but you'll get out of it the work that you put into it. And the more you research and put in the work, the more rewarding that you're going to find the degree, like anything in life, really. How would I be able to interact with my teachers if I study online? That's a good question.
So if you wanted to interact with your teachers, you can do so by messaging them through the Canvas platform. And then you can also interact with them in the discussion questions as well.
Okay, now we're going to wrap up the session now. We have a couple of questions to kind of finish the session. One is, how much does the global MBA cost? Well, the costings, if not on the website, will be told to you by the educational consultant, so you can get the costings for any of these degrees. An MBA is normally a bit more expensive than a master's degree, typically, because of the figure and the amount of work there is. But the last question I have here, what does the MBA give you? I think that's a big question. It's kind of one of these world questions. MBA degrees go in and out of fashion. But the majority, I read a study last year, 70% of American CEOs either have an MBA degree, a law degree, or a master's in finance. Now, we do offer our master's in finance, and we do offer our MBA. So it's a very good pathway to high level in business. If you want to ask me personally what my MBA gave me, before I graduated, I managed to move into a better position, a better management position, position I'm in currently. I managed to get an increase in my salary and my role and responsibility. I got to have a hand in writing my own job description and my proposal, which is a business proposal to the business that I work for. Those skills came directly from my MBA program, a good MBA program at a good UK university, such as London School of Business and Finance. The MBA program will provide you with that kind of leg up. I'd like to think that an MBA qualification means that you are employed for life. I think it's arrogant to say that any qualification now employs you for life, but if you're going to get a qualification that's going to put your CV to the top of the pile in business nowadays, then you're hard pressed to find a better one than an MBA. So that's what an MBA will give you, whether you study on campus or online. A reputable, good MBA. You just have to decide whether the MBA is right for you. You can fit it around your study, your life, your work commitments as they are now. So Brittany, thank you very much for going through the classroom, for answering so many questions. You know too much about these degrees, and it's fantastic to have someone like you helping our students out. So thank you very much for today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Now, for anyone who wants to watch back or have a little look back at Brittany's demonstration, take some screenshots, do whatever, then we'll be sending you a recording shortly after this webinar. So don't worry, you don't have to furiously take any screenshots or write anything down. You can do that at your own pace. We'll send you a copy of the recording. So thank you very much. If you're interested in any of our other programs, please check out our other webinars. And please ask us any questions that you'd like. We're always happy to help. And thank you very much. We'll wish you all good luck, but if you're prepared, you're doing your research, you won't need any luck at all. And we'll see you all in class. Thank you very much, Brittany.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.